Hello, my dear friend. I hope you're doing amazing today. Let me ask you something. Have you ever wondered why, no matter how much comfort or success we achieve, something always feels missing? Why is it that even when people reach what others call heaven on earth, they don't really feel it that way? Stay with me, because what I'm about to share with you could completely change the way you see your own life. My dear friend, let me share with you a story. Imagine someone coming to you and saying, "Don't worry about your work. Don't stress about making money. I'll give you a roof over your head. I'll give you food every single day. And I'll take care of your needs. All you have to do is sit peacefully, blissfully, with a smile that lights up your being." Sounds simple, doesn't it? And yet the truth is almost no one can do it. We humans want to get up, to run around, to mess things up every single day. We say we are working only to survive, only to make a living. But what if survival was already taken care of for you? Could you simply sit in joy, radiating bliss, without any need to struggle? That's the challenge. The problem, my friend, is not your work. It is not your life situation. It is not even the world around you. The real problem is simple. We have not yet done the inner work to allow life to flow through us effortlessly and beautifully. Instead, we keep hoping that somehow by accident, happiness will arrive. But bliss does not come by accident. Heaven does not appear out of nowhere. It is something we must create within ourselves. Think about it. Many people across the world look at the United States of America and believe it's heaven on earth. They dream about moving there, about living the so-called American dream. If the borders were wide open, millions would pour in overnight, hoping to escape their struggles. But here's the truth. Those who already live there don't always see it as heaven. Isn't it so? Because heaven and hell are not about geography. They're not countries or places we can fly to. Heaven and hell are the states of being we create inside ourselves. Too often, my friend, people talk endlessly about heaven. Why? Because they have already made hell out of themselves. If you were living in a heaven within your own skin, would you ever aspire to go somewhere else? Would you long for paradise if you were already experiencing it every day? No! If you sat here right now filled with ecstasy, would you be dreaming of another world? Of course not. This truth is ancient, and yet we keep forgetting it. Let me share with you a story from the early 20th century, a time when the world looked very different, but human longing was the same. There was a bishop from the Orthodox Greek Church. He had spent his whole life serving, praying, and preaching. He wore his religious cloak with pride, but deep inside, he carried a curiosity. He had heard whispers of Indian mystics, of yogis, who lived in mountains, who spoke of life in ways no theology book could explain. For decades, his duty kept him from traveling. But finally, at the age of 60, semi-retired and weary, he set out for India. He arrived in the south, near the place where yogis were known to dwell. People guided him to a mountain where a mystic was said to sit in meditation. So, with his heavy robes and tired body, the bishop climbed halfway up the mountain, step after step, until finally, in front of a cave, he saw an old man sitting quietly. The yogi's eyes were closed, his face calm, and a gentle smile played on his lips. The bishop, remembering the advice he was given, bowed down, pressing his head and limbs to the ground. It was awkward for him. He had never done such a gesture before. He struggled to prostrate fully, but somehow he managed. The yogi opened his eyes, saw the bishop's clumsy devotion, and smiled warmly. "My friend," said the bishop, I am a bishop of the church. I have spent my life in service, but I carry many questions. May I ask you?" The yogi nodded kindly. "Yes, ask whatever you wish." And so, with all the seriousness of his 60 years, the bishop asked, "What is life?" The yogi closed his eyes once more. His face glowed with bliss, and after a moment of silence, he spoke gently. "Life is like the fragrance of jasmine drifting on the spring breeze." Tears of pure joy rolled down his cheeks as he said this, his entire being radiating the truth of those words. But the bishop was not satisfied. "No, no," he protested. "Our Pope has told us life is like a thorn, something to renounce, to suffer. Even our Lord wore a crown of thorns. How can you say life is fragrance and sweetness when our holy teachings say it is pain?" The yogi smiled again, his eyes kind but filled with wisdom, and he simply said, "Well, that is his life." What a truth, my friend. What a simple, powerful truth. Life is not defined by where you are, by what you have, or even by what religion or tradition tells you. Life is exactly what you make of it. For one man, life is a thorn. For another, it is the fragrance of jasmine. So the real question is, what have you made of your life? Have you created within yourself the necessary space, the ingredients, the inner system to experience life as beauty, as joy, as fragrance? Or have you left it untended, allowing it to become a crown of thorns? If it is a thorn, then pluck it out, my dear friend. Do the work within, because heaven and hell are not waiting for you after death. They are blooming inside you right now, this very moment. And you have the power to choose which one you live in. If you're still with me, my dear friend, then wait until you hear this. Because the secret is not about escaping life, not about renouncing, and not about waiting for heaven after death. The secret is about learning how to sit right here blissfully so that every breath feels like heaven. And here's the beauty of it. When you become blissful, when joy naturally flows out of you, you don't need to run after life. Life comes to you. People want to be around you, just as people wanted to sit near that yogi because joy is contagious. Bliss spreads. And when your heart is full of fragrance, even your presence becomes a blessing to the world. So, my dear friend, let me ask you again, what will you choose? A crown of thorns or the fragrance of jasmine in the spring breeze? The choice has always been yours. Thank you for being here with me today. If this story touched your heart, if it made you think differently about your own life, I invite you to stay connected. Like this video, share it with someone who might need to hear it, and subscribe so we can continue this journey together. Remember, heaven and hell are not somewhere else. They are right here, right now within you.